Morning, this is Brian. Today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2024, and I'm here in the Mira Mesa Rancho Peñasquitos area of San Diego, starting a hike into Peñasquitos Canyon from the Camino Ruíz Neighborhood Park entrance area. I'm going to be hiking down into the canyon. I'm going to be hiking down this little finger canyon first, and then into the main canyon. Let's see how far I go in today. So this is the Camino Ruíz staging area. It's a small park on Camino Ruíz at the very northern end of it. So what you can do from Interstate 15, get off on Mira Mesa Blvd and head west down Mira Mesa Blvd, and then turn right onto Camino Ruíz and head north on Camino Ruíz until you end up here at the park. And I've been in Peñasquitos Canyon a few times, but I've never been in the canyon from the Camino Ruíz side. It's always been from Canyonside Community Park, which is off Mercy Road. So I wanted to try a little something different because I've never been on the north-facing slopes here on the south rim of the canyon. Never been on the south rim of the canyon before. I always wanted to check out the south side of it. So today is my chance. And from what I understand, it's supposed to be very lush chaparral. And it's starting to look evident right here as we start going on this north-facing slope down into the ravine. Oh yeah, this is already starting off pretty good. We've got southern honeysuckle blooming right now. Lonicera subspicata variety denudata. And we got the fruits developing on our fuchsia flower gooseberry here. And then it looks like we got some summer holly over here. I think we got summer holly and then coastal scrub oak popping up. So yeah, looks like we're in for an interesting day. I always wanted to explore this side of the canyon, but never figured out how to get here from down there, from the lower parts of the canyon. Oh, we got bush rue here too. This is a tall one, Neuridium dumosum. You see the little fruits here. This is a relative of the citrus plants. The citrus fruit. It's in the rue family, Rutaceae. It's a pretty tall specimen here, actually. So here we go. I've always known the south rim of this canyon was supposed to be very lush. Oh, and here we go. Here's some more summer holly right here. As you move further north in San Diego County, this plant becomes a little more common. So yeah, Comarostaphyllus diversifolia, subspecies diversifolia. And we're going in some lemonade berry right here too. Very nice and luscious. And there's another summer holly right here. To the untrained eye, this looks a lot like its close relative, the Mission Manzanita. But it is a relative. But the stringy bark is the giveaway that this is Mission Manzanita. I mean, Mission Manzanita's cousin, the summer holly. And we got a single trunk scrub oak. Cool. I'm trying to figure out. I think this one's still Dumosa. This is a single trunk tree. I don't come across that super often. But it's already looking like an interesting day. When here's bush rue flower. Here's the bush rue flower right here. Small, 4-petaled. Oh, and it does smell like citrus. So yeah. There's the bush rue. Yeah, it does smell a little bit like citrus. Oh, look at this tall toyon right here. Beautiful. I don't know. There's Mission Manzanita here, the smoother bark, Xylococcus bicolor. Yeah. Actually, this feels more like forest than, it feels like forest or woodland more than chaparral. Here's a single trunked summer holly. Oh, there's a much bigger summer holly right here. It's an older growth specimen here. Again, the shreddy bark is a giveaway. Ooh. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is pretty sick. I expected this to be some pretty tall chaparral. Didn't expect it to be just about a miniature forest. Again, that's not a complaint. That's a happy observation. This is pretty sick. There's quite a bit of summer holly here too. I love it. There's a lot of it actually. Ooh, yeah, this is more of a forest than a woodland. Or forest or woodland than simple chaparral. Oh, this is enchanted. This is enchanting. This is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like a house finch. I think it's what that was. Yeah, this definitely appears to be more of the Dumosa type, Quercus dumosa scrub oak. Dang, this is insane. Oh yeah, this might be a long video today too. Last week's video in Ruffin Canyon was pretty long. It's a good thing I got an extra full 64 gigabyte memory card. And a lot of batteries. Oh, I love this. This is absolutely breathtaking. I mean, I expected this to be a pretty gorgeous side. Boy, am I pleasantly surprised at actually how bonkers beautiful this is. We got silverback ferns here, pentagrama, right here in the understory. Oh boy. I love north-facing slopes. Sheesh, man, this is incredible. I cannot adequately represent in words or even on camera how insane this is. So verdant, luscious. This really does capture the essence, or the nickname of the chaparral, the elfin forest. This truly captures that sentiment. Ooh, heartleaf beard tongue, Kekiella cordifolia. I gotta catch that one in bloom so I can spotlight it finally. It's a little early. I think it's more of a summer bloomer, I believe. Sheesh, man. This is crazy. I love it. This is absolutely what it's all about right here. And these scrub oaks are massive. And I'm seeing way more summer holly than I am Mission Manzanita. It's usually way the opposite. So a lot more summer holly than I've seen Mission Manzanita thus far. Probably change at some point, but usually, especially in central San Diego County, more central. We're still kind of central, but a little further south. Summer holly's quite a scarce phenomenon. This is breathtaking. This area hasn't been disturbed in a very long time. See, I love scrub oak. I love scrub oak chaparral. I love it insanely hardcore. Love scrub oak chaparral. But when it gets into the size, the shrubs get into the size that they are, like right now when they're really tall and they actually form like a little miniature woodland, it just levels up so much even more. I love scrub oaks. I've always been really fascinated with scrub oaks ever since I was a kid, before knowing a lot more about them like I do now. But I just keep seeing how big they get on these shadier canyon slopes, and it just makes the fascination grow more and more. I mean, look at these guys. These are massive. I don't see any with any abnormally large trunks, but they're just tall. Some of them are single trunk, like small trees. This is probably the same plant here. Some of these do have some pretty big trunks, so I'm not gonna lie. Quercus dumosa. I don't think I've seen any acutidens. I think these are mostly dumosas here. Boy, Camino Ruíz way is definitely the way to hike into this canyon. You'll have a nice little climb on the way out, but you'll be in the shade of scrub oaks pretty much the entire time. All right. Catch you on the next clip. All right, so I kind of come across a community of barberries. It's a small community right here. This looks like the shiny leaf barberry, Berberis pinnata, subspecies pinnata. Right here, there's a little patch of it. That's what it looks like. Yeah, the shinier one usually is Berberis pinnata pinnata, and then the duller leaf one that grows here in Southern California is usually the California barberry, Berberis aquifolium variety dictyota, but this one appears to be Berberis pinnata. I had no idea it grew down this low in elevation. I had no clue. Absolutely no clue it grew this close to the ocean. That's what we appear to have here. Pinnata referring to the pinnately compound leaves, so this is the leaf axis, or rachis, and these are the leaflets. Yeah, this looks like shiny leaf barberry. Yeah, I was just coming around here, and I just happened to notice. I was thinking, oh, is that poison oak? But no. Looks like we got shiny leaf barberry in this canyon. I might have to do a calflora. Thing. So I haven't logged anything on calflora in a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture and just start documenting this for calflora. So, suffice it to say, looks like this adventure just leveled up another huge notch. Oh, a coast live oak seedling. Okay. A young close live oak. Quercus agrifolia, variety agrifolia. Now I've seen my first poison oak of the day. I haven't seen any until now, but there's one little patch of Toxicodendron diversilobum right in that mass of twigs. That's the first one I've seen so far. But yeah, there's definitely more barberry going down this canyon. It's a nice little population of it here. I totally did not expect that. All another reason for the botanically inclined people to take this trail if you haven't already. Here's more of it right here, more of that barberry. And some toyon seedling action over here too. These look like second, maybe even third year seedlings. Probably more like second year seedlings because of last 2022-2023's rainy season was pretty explosive here. So that's probably what that is. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of barberry here. This whole population of it here in the understory of this scrub oak. I'm just going to come out and say it. This is probably still technically be considered chaparral, but it feels like I'm in the middle of a miniature forest. So I'm just going to call this a scrub oak forest because it sure feels like a forest to me. We have a pretty well developed understory, which in chaparral doesn't always happen unless the chaparral is very tall with some space underneath. So yeah, this is pretty insane. This was I expected this to be gorgeous, to be honest with you. I already expected this was going to be mind-blowingly beautiful, but I was ill prepared for truly how insanely, awesomely gorgeous this was actually going to be. I was ill prepared for the level of beauty. Look at this, a large lemonade berry, basically a tree. This thing is actually a tree, basically a tree. So yeah, we can add shiny barberry to the list of awesomeness that grows here and even in coastal San Diego County. Coastal and near coastal. The only other time I experienced that plant was along the Guatai Mountain Trail. On the way back from Guatai Mountain, I happened to come across it. And here we've got, it looks like probably a subspecies of Stachys rigida here too. Okay, now we have a coast live oak tree. Here's a Quercus agrifolia variety agrifolia. Yeah, this is actually the coast live oak tree here. And here's our western poison oak. Not related, by the way. We've got a few coast live oak trees in here. But these over here, these are more coastal scrub oaks. These are the Quercus dumosas that are getting much larger. So I think we're nearing the canyon bottom, I believe. I think we're nearing the bottom already. Wow. For you who love that dense, that really dense, thick chaparral that's really tall and almost overgrown, you definitely need to take the trail from Camino Ruiz. Or if you're hiking from the bottom, hike up it for a side trip, because you will not be sorry. It is breathtakingly beautiful here. Breathtakingly beautiful. Now we are starting to get a lot more western poison oaks, so that will now become a factor, and it does get close to the trail here. So let's just try to skirt by it a little bit. So now we're nearing the canyon bottom. So now we're getting... What the heck? Alright, my camera I think is going to die, so I'm going to go switch batteries, and then next clip, I got to start talking on some of these scrub oaks. This is getting out of hand. I love it. Alright, so you saw me probably panning over here before I had to cut off the clip so I can get some new batteries. So So you're thinking, wow, some beautiful coast live oaks here, huh? Hey, these are some beautiful coast live oaks. Well, back there, yeah, there's some coast live oaks back here, but this massive thing here is a scrub oak. This is a scrub oak. This is not a coast live oak. This is actually a Quercus dumosa right here, this whole thing. And it's got some massive trunks in there. Yeah, that was a scrub oak. That's not a coast live oak. The ones behind it, the ones in the far background, yes, they are coast live oaks, but no, that was a scrub oak. That was an actual scrub oak. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get some close quarters here. So just walk in the middle of the trail because there's poison oak starting to drape over some of these scrub oak branches. Yeah, poison oak isn't so much of a factor higher up on the trail. Down here, it starts to become more so. But yeah, here's another scrub oak right here. Look at that. That's a scrub oak. I ain't going next to it because there's a bunch of poison oak draping on it, but yeah, this is another scrub oak. Probably a 20, 25 foot tall tree. And then, here's a San Diego County area endemic, Palmer sagewort, Artemisia palmeri. So now we're going to be heading down. Yeah, we're basically at the canyon bottom already. Yeah, I could tell we're at the bottom because California sycamores are starting to pop up. And those are generally canyon bottom trees. Platanus racemosa. So we'll probably be crossing Peñasquitos Creek pretty soon. I just can't, wow. So this is what I came down. This is where I came down, right here. Well, more that way, but. Alright, so I've reached one of the main double tracks here on the bottom. I'm thinking our waterfall is 1.8 miles from here. So all I do is I want to at least go to the waterfall. And then maybe after that, maybe do a few side trails. I was almost going to go down that single track over there. So when we get down to the bottom of Camino Ruíz Trail, I'm going to go to the waterfall. I'm going to go ahead and bank a left. So we're going to be here in this beautiful gallery-like coast live oak woodland here. That should be interesting. So when you come back this way, you're turning from this double track, just look out for a small sign at the bottom of the trail that says Camino Ruíz, and that'll just hop. When you're coming back from this way, just bank a right. You'll see the little sign that says Camino Ruíz. That's where you're parked, and that's where you head up. So now we are in a breathtakingly beautiful coast live oak woodland here. Yeah, these are some beautiful trees. And there's another one of the finger canyons right there. So I'm just going to take a short little detour because we do have some non-native palms growing in here. Just watching out for poison oak, of course. Yeah. Canary Island date palms. Phoenix canariensis. There's a jungle of them down here. Almost feels like we're in the tropics. You can see a lot of these coast live oak roots were exposed after this area. Looks like it got scoured out by flooding right during the last couple of rainy seasons. Yeah, just look at how lush the chaparral's on that side. So technically, in those previous clips coming down from from the mesa, I was technically that's chaparral. Those are all chaparral indicator species that just tend to grow humongous in areas that have not been disturbed by fire or other disturbance for a very long time, allowing them to grow as large as they did. Now you can see some of those scrub oaks over there are absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Honestly, some of them are about the size of smaller coast live oak trees. And we're talking about a plant that's predominantly a shrub. Yeah. So yeah, this is coast live oak woodland. Yep. Pretty magical. Pretty magical down here. Ooh, what we got here? Sacred Datura righty. Plant I've pointed out on a good few occasions, but I've never done a spotlight. Ooh, here we go. Now watch where you reach your hand here, because we got Western poison oak, and then we also have California blackberry. The ones with the fuzzy leaves and the little prickles on the stems, that's the blackberry. The ones that are smooth and shiny, that's the one you don't want to touch, which is the Western poison oak. The Western poison oak isn't fuzzy, it doesn't have prickles on its stems. Nice older California sycamore up here. I'll say it again, like I've said on so many of my other videos. I love canyons. See why right here. The complex topography, the crazy vegetation differences. There's a larger Canary Islands date palm in there. I think a lot of the mature ones that were back here decades ago were probably removed mechanically. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut down the clip, move on a little bit more, and we'll jump into another clip pretty soon. Alright, here's some interesting botanical find. Now, this is one of those confusing Baccharis plants. It kind of looks intermediate between this here, which is broom Baccharis, Baccharis saurothroides, and between coyote brush, Baccharis pilolaris consanguinea. I'm trying to think if this could potentially be a willow Baccharis too, Baccharis salicina, which I don't think is supposed to be very, very common here in San Diego County. But this could be either intermediate between broom Baccharis and coyote brush, or this could be a willow Baccharis. Willow Baccharis, these leaves are the length and the size of what I would expect more for willow Baccharis, being wider than broom Baccharis, which is usually has very narrow leaves, and a little bit longer than coyote brush, which usually has pretty short leaves. So I'm leaning more towards that possibly, but I would have to do a little more research, because our Baccharis species can be very confusing because they hybridize freely, and characteristics in between them can be so variable. Yeah, Baccharis is another confusing genus, especially with these woodier based shrubs here in Southern California. So this could potentially be a Baccharis salicina, willow Baccharis, which used to be known as Baccharis emery Baccharis. But yeah, the leaf size definitely seems to indicate more of what I would expect with willow Baccharis. Longer than coyote brush, longer and wider than Broombaccarus, two extremely closely related species that do hybridize, but also that this is a bottomland area that gets a lot more runoff and deeper soil moisture. This could just be a plant with oversized leaves as well, being a hybrid between, potentially being a hybrid between coyote brush and Broombaccarus. Again, there is a plant here on the side, this little thicket right here. This one appears to be Baccharis saurothroides. So intuitions tell me this is probably an intermediate Broombaccarus coyote brush, but it could potentially be a willow Baccharis, which is supposed to have leaves pretty similar to that. Again, similar being there is variability in the foliage of Baccharis. Now what we have here is a non-native wattle from Australia. This is Acacia redolens. This is one of those acacias with these leaf-like structures called phyllodes. They essentially take the function of a leaf, but it's not a full-fledged leaf. It allows the plant to photosynthesize like a leaf because it has green tissue, but it acts more like a petiole or a leaf stalk. It's more along the lines of what it is. And one thing you'll notice about this species of acacia or wattle is that the leaves have a the foliage has a slight sweet fragrance to it. It's actually very pleasant. I didn't really notice that on the other acacias, but that one seems to have a sweet fragrance. It's very pleasant, at least in my opinion. It kind of has a sweet, almost slight overtone of vanilla. So that's Acacia redolens, and it's got that grayish, greenish foliage. The other wattles are usually much taller, much more upright, with bright green foliage. That one has kind of a more spreading prostrate habit and grayish green leaves. It's a very common landscape shrub here in Southern California, usually for erosion and for ornament. When I lived in Anaheim back in the 90s, I had purchased one from a nursery and had one growing in my backyard when I was in junior high and high school. I always thought those were such pleasant smelling and pleasant looking wattles. Being that it's a wattle, it's a species of acacia from Australia. Okay, now we're moving into another gallery, almost like a forest, more of a forest than a woodland now. But the widely spaced trees, I guess, would technically designate this a woodland, but it is a very dense, packed, beautiful coast live oak grove here. Yeah, this is absolutely breathtaking. Look at these mature, not overly huge in the size of no humongous, massive 300-400-year-old trunks, but definitely very mature and actually pretty tall. These are pretty tall coast live oaks because they are growing a little bit closer together, so a little more aligned with what you'd expect in a forest than a woodland. So the trees are usually taller, maybe not quite as widespread because they're competing with each other for light. That's probably why some of these trees are actually taller. Now, I'm not saying that these are saplings by any stretch, but they're definitely not. They don't have the huge old trunks you see on a lot of the woodland trees that grow more spread apart. So they may probably have some age to them, but I don't think they're extremely old either. You know, these trees can get pretty tall. Coast live oaks have been known to get up to 60, 70, even up to 80 feet tall at times. So they can achieve some pretty decent height. Let's put it this way. It's a beautiful place. A lot of these coast live oaks, I saw a couple that were in pretty rough health near the base of the trail, the base of the Camino Ruíz area. But over here they seem to be a lot healthier, probably because this area gets more water. once you get down the hill, this is pretty much a relatively level trail here. When you go back up, if you're parked at Camino Ruíz like I am, if you're parked over there at the neighborhood park, you'll probably have roughly about a 200-foot climb out. Well, nothing overly strenuous, but just, save some energy for the trip back, because you will be climbing uphill at the end of your hike. But just remember, you also have that beautiful scrub oak forest awaiting you on your return back uphill. And who knows, you might find something you missed earlier. Maybe I will. Sometimes you have to look forward to your return trip, even if it's an out and back. Well, I'll see you on the next clip as I amble my way down this double track. Alright, the next stop on our botanical tour of today, May 15th, 2024, is a whole patch of yerba mansa. Stuff with all that white, and those aren't flower petals, but they are the little whitish bracts that are underneath the little inflorescences of the flower clusters. Yes, a whole patch of Anemopsis californica. Yep. So you can tell that area gets pretty marshy. Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, the whole patch of it here. All that white stuff in the middle of the camera. Whole gang of it. That's such a cool plant too. I did a spotlight video on that plant in Mission Trails. I think it was the first time I ever came across it. It was May of 2022. First time I ever come across that plant before. And that's after already years of hiking. That's already after years of hiking, never having come across it before. And now I've seen it several times now since then. But, you can see where Peñasquitos Creek, the area is, and then you have the little marshy area on this little alluvial section here. But yeah, this is that north-facing slope here on the south rim of the canyon. Just that chaparral is just so dense. Again, it's more akin to a forest. If you want to look at it through aesthetics, it feels more like you're in a forest than a woodland, but technically that is chaparral. I see what looks like huge wild ryegrass over there. See a little game trail going through here. It's probably like a deer path or something. But yeah, some of those scrub oaks in there are absolutely massive. So yeah, this looks like this is the floodplain bottom. I don't know if this is more alluvial or just a floodplain. Alluvial would be more of the sloping coming down, so I might have misspoke on that a little bit. Alluvial tends to be more of the sedimentary deposition coming down from the hillside, forming a gently sloping plain. Sloping and plain seemingly contradictory in terms, but it's kind of what the vibe gives when you look at it. Yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal here. I have been to the Peñasquitos waterfall one time, and that was when I first came here in 2016, and that was before filming videos. Should be able to get some good footage of it today. Hopefully there won't be throngs of people over there. It's a Wednesday, probably around 11:30 or so. Probably around 11:30 or so right now, I'm assuming. So a lot of people are at work today. my days off were Wednesdays and Thursdays, so I do get the benefit of coming here when there's less crowding. On the weekends, I'm assuming this place is probably packed. I did come here on a Saturday. That first time back in 2016, it was on a Saturday, and it was pretty busy. But even on weekdays, you know, not everybody has weekends off. I'm one of them. Look at all this. This is that yerba mansa plant, the Anemopsis californica I've been discussing earlier. Yeah, those aren't petals. The flowers are actually in this cone shape here. These are the flowers, these little things. These are modified leaves. That's what a bract is. It's a modified leaf. The leaves are the little bracts. The showiest thing about the plant. That is such a dope looking plant. Let's be honest. Another single track over here. I wonder where that goes. It's not cordoned off. Usually these open space areas are pretty good about putting signs where it's closed. That's another possible side trail on the way back. It goes right into this Coast Live Oak Grove here. But I am trying to go to the waterfall. I haven't been to the waterfall since 2016. Gorgeous. You don't have to go to the national parks, state parks, to find insanity and beauty. Insane beauty. This is like Tecolote Canyon or San Clemente Canyon or Ruffin Canyon. It's an open space park. So it's basically, I think it's basically run by the city of San Diego, per se. Like I say, you don't have to go to the national parks to see awesome beauty. Now it looks like we got some large Coast Live Oaks over here. Ooh, another tarantula hawk wasp. I wonder if that's the same species I saw last week. That one's a little more orange than red. There are a few different species of Pepsis. The one I saw last week was Pepsis thisbe, which is Thisbe's tarantula hawk wasp, which has very scarlet, striking red wings. That one had a little bit more of an orange vibe to it. Yeah, some of these Coast Live Oaks in here, I bet you have massive trunks on them. Willing to bet. Oh yeah, I can see it from here. Yeah, some of those are very, very large based trees. All right, well, keep on trekking this down and we'll see what else I can find later on. I want to go by the creek and see if I can see any rainbow trout. Last time I was here, I saw rainbow trout swimming in the stream, so we'll see if I get lucky today. Alright, so now we're coming up on the multi-branch junction here. This is Carson's Crossing. This is going to cross the creek. And there's a single track here that's only for hikers. And we got this one here. Again, I'm probably going to take a few side trips on the way out, but we're just under a mile from the little cascade area, the Peñasquitos Canyon Falls. So I've just been admiring the south rim of the canyon here. Of course, since it's the south rim of the canyon, the slope that comes down from it's a north-facing slope. And again, that's why everything is just a tangle of awesome vegetation. Just a tangle of thick, medium to dark green shrubs, and looks like we got vines, mostly wild spiny cucumbers draped all over the chaparral shrubs. Yeah, and these meadows here are beautiful. Beautiful meadows too. So there's a lot to take in, especially if you like diversity. The other side of the canyon, the north rim where the south-facing drier slopes are, it's a mixture of coastal sage scrub and smaller scrub oaks. So I've been on that side too. Oh, here we go. Palmer sagewort starting to get ready to bloom. Artemisia palmeri starting to develop its flower buds. Pretty cool looking. We're starting to get some thick lemonade berry over here. And the scrub oaks are starting to really, they haven't completely disappeared, but they're starting to pop back in a little more noticeably. I'm catching a few smaller scrub oaks here and there along the side of the trail, mostly in the meadow area, but yeah, you can see truly large these scrub oaks get here. Some of them have some pretty large trunks on them too, so it's very amazing. All right, catch you up the way. I think some common or some coastal deer broom here that's taller than me. Right here. Mistbone glabber, variety glabber. This thing's actually taller than me. It's probably because it's growing right up against another shrub. Oh, here's our southern honeysuckle again in bloom. A little bit of a perfume. Yeah, a little bit of a sweet fragrance. We've got a trail here. I thought I saw something that climbed very steeply up that way. So I'm wondering, that's a potential side trip. It looks like it goes very steeply up the mountain side. So I don't know, that might be a potential side trip for a little extra elevation gain later on. Of course, when I upload my statistics, it's not just the out and back from to and from the falls. It's going to include any other side trips I make. Oops, Saca Peyote. Biding my time. That could be an early summer spotlight video this year. Ooh, just got a whiff of the sagebrush. Man, look at the white sage. Look how tall this one is. How gorgeous is that? Salvia apiana. Apiana is the Latin term for dealing with bees, as bees love sage. So, Salvia apiana, more southern honeysuckle, and some California sagebrush. I caught a good whiff of this. I haven't been seeing a lot of that yet today, but sure caught a strong whiff of it when I came through this little part of the trail. And of course, black sage right here, Salvia mellifera, still blooming very strongly here in mid-May. Ooh, and coyote melon, or gourd, Cucurbita foetidissima. Yeah, I love that. I love that south rim of the canyon. It is beautiful. So much awesome stuff going on. I'm starting to see checker blooms popping up too. It's like we got some Sidalcea. Ooh, I don't want to step all over this. Why? Sandman. Cardinema ramosissima. This small plant here. Small perennial. I believe it's in the carnation family. I think it's in the Caryophyllaceae, the carnation and pink family, I believe, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's sand mat right there. I don't want to step on those. But a little patience brought me over to these, the checker blooms. I believe this is Sadalcea sparsifolia. Checker blooms are blooming pretty good. Yeah, still got a lot of wildflower action. Last rain was over a month ago. So now we're getting to see the legacy of it with the late spring wildflowers. I'll take it. Alright, well, I'm going to keep on moving, and I'll catch you on the next clip. Look at this dense thicket of scrub oaks here. Look at that. That is so cool. It's just a jungle of scrub oak. It's just basically an impenetrable thicket of scrub oak awesomeness. Definitely not inviting a person to visit because, boom, Western poison oak is all tangled up in it. Wish. Whoa, some of these are huge. Yeah, right there, that big trunk right there. That's a scrub oak. Hey, it's not a coast live oak, I'm telling you. That's a scrub oak trunk. Wow, that is incredible. You got a veritable forest in there. That's even denser than the trail I came hiking down earlier. That's insane. This is just basically a big wall of scrub oak, an occasional lemonade berry to spice it up a tiny bit more. I'll tell you one thing, a very mature scrub oak chaparral, a very mature, not having been disturbed in a very long time, is a veritable, beautiful elfin forest. And that's where the nickname for chaparral came from. Elfin forest. Here's more of that checker bloom. Man, what a charming plant this is. Every year I see this, just so fun to look at. So cool to look at these little things. I love checker blooms. They're just such awesome little perennials. Of course, the camera doesn't do it justice because I don't have the most sophisticated equipment, obviously. But if you look at them up close, you look like I think you're looking at a little miniature hibiscus. There's a reason why, because it is related to the hibiscus in the mallow family, the Malvaceae. Now here's a non-native plant that I do see a lot on the sides of trails here. This plant with the peach pink flowers. And this is Lysimachia arvensis. It's called scarlet pimpernel. It's a pretty common non-native plant that invades these trailside and seasonally moist areas. It's an annual plant, and I forget what family it's in. It used to be named Anagallis arvensis, but then the taxonomy's changed. And I might have to do some updated spotlight videos on some plant videos I did in recent years, because I've noticed a lot of taxonomical changes have occurred since I've done the videos, so I could be a little more up to date. So if you ever see a spotlight video on a plant I've done before, a revamped spotlight, it's probably because I'm trying to reflect the more recent scientific names of the plants, the binomial names, like Anagallis arvensis, which is now Lysimachia arvensis. So I do have some tasks ahead of me where I might want to do spotlight update videos. So I'll probably be under the spotlight update semi-series. And I do occasionally do spotlight updates on plants that I've done spotlights before, especially when I see a plant in a different season and feel it important to do an additive video to it. So, but plants that have dramatic seasonal changes, I'm going to try to reserve that for what I call the labor of love bit, where I don't record one video. Well, I don't record the video outright in one setting. I will record it in different seasons. So I can start a video in, say, March or April when the plant's blooming, and then if it changes leaf color in autumn, I might do what it looks like with fruit on it in the summer, and then again in fall when the plant's leaves are changing color. Kind of like I did with Toyon. I started recording footage of Toyon. This was a spotlight redo, basically. I did my spotlight on Toyon, and I recorded portions of it in July in Ruffin Canyon. Then again in September when the fruits are developing, and then in late November when the fruits are ripened, and I was able to do so I recorded portions of it during parts of the year, so I can do a good job in representing the plant in multiple seasons. Am I looking at alkali heath? Yeah, that's what this looks like here. This looks like Frankinia salina. No flowers on it right now, but that's sure what it looks like. Yeah, I think this is Frankinia salina. I've normally only seen it with the little purplish flowers on it, but yeah, those leaves look like Frankinia salina. I didn't expect them this far inland here. It has no flower on it, but it looks like we got alkali heath growing here along the side of the trail. Started noticing that a minute ago. Okay. Didn't realize they grew this far inland, but hey, I'll take it. Must be getting close to the waterfalls. I can hear the cascades running down below. What kind of cudweed do we have here? I'm trying to figure out what kind of cudweed or everlasting that is. Thought it might be violettis, but the leaves don't clasp around the stem very hard. So I should be coming up on the falls very soon. And of course, Adolphia californica starting to go to seed. Those are the seed capsules. If you've seen seed capsules similar to that on some of my other plant shots, those were from Ceanothus species. This Adolphia californica, California spine shrub, is a related species to Ceanothus. Ooh, yeah, Blumeria crocea, subspecies crocea, golden star. All right, starting to catch that now too. Okay, pretty cool. I was hoping to see that soon. All right. Gotta start looking for the trail to get down there. Should be coming across it pretty soon, I think. Oh yeah, just up ahead, there's a Sinuses waterfall. So I'm gonna go to that junction and turn right. Okay, I haven't quite got to the waterfall sign, which is just over there. I just had to stop and gawk at this. It's a huge honeysuckle plant in here. I don't know if this is all from the shrub or if it's gotta be. I think it is. I think this whole thing is a southern honeysuckle plant. I was thinking maybe this was sprawling into another shrub, but yo, this thing is massive. This is a southern honeysuckle plant. I've never seen one like this before. This is bonkers. Like, this is old growth right here. I think this is an old aging specimen of Lonicera denudata, Lonicera subspicata denudata. This looks like old growth wood right here. I thought this was something else and it was a sprawling in it, but no. I believe this is all, I think this is all, yeah, I think this is all part of the same, I think it is. Unless this is an optical illusion. It could be an optical illusion, but I think this might be, it might be the original plant. Unless that's a scrub oak that is sprawled out over. Okay. Alright, we're going to bank right here. Alright. There we go. Looks like there's going to be some people over there, so I'm going to have to try to find a quiet spot. Let's go check out these beautiful cascades. Spine shrub here. Or Adolphia californica. Yeah, those seed capsules are very similar to Ceanothus seed capsules. Oh, here's more of that Berber's pinnata, subspecies pinnata again. More shiny leaf barberry popping up again. Do a little overlook over here first. Okay, here's Peñasquitos Creek in action. Alright, let's get a little closer and personal. Looks like there's a carved set of stones leading the way down a little bit closer to the water. So let's go ahead and take a look. Pretty easy way to get down here. Yeah, water's still flowing pretty well. Okay. 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 Alright. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. What am I saying? It's awesome. It's beyond nice. Let's say this is awesome here. Oh, we got a Western False indigo bush over here. That's a Morpha fruticosa right there. First one I've seen in this canyon. I don't see them super often, but they're usually found kind of near creek areas and canyon bottoms. I had to come back up here. A couple was coming down. So I figured I shot enough footage of that side over there. So I figured I'd come up here and just admire the beautiful rocks, beautiful boulders that just make this look so wild here. Yep. So people who want to know what San Diego is about, this is it right here. Right here. This is why a lot of us San Diego County residents are, a lot of us are quite outdoorsy. Why? If this doesn't answer your question, I don't know what will. This is awesome. Especially look at just the huge boulders. And then we got a lot of rocks and boulders around the side of this too. See, this is the access trail here from the path. If you can get here from Canyonside Community Park, it'll take you along that path there. If you follow the double track there, then you'll come down this way. That came from this way, because I came from Camino Ruíz, so I was taking the double track that was on this side of Peñasquitos Creek. This is breathtaking. I just love the big pools down there, the boulders. Just absolutely insanely gorgeous here. Alright, I'm going to start heading back up the hill. Maybe start looking for some side trips on the way back. Alright, so I'm on the other side of the waterfall sign. So that's... Ooh, there's a Thisbay's tarantula hawk wasp. I think that's Thisbay's. It looks pretty scarlet. I say. Yeah. It looks like Pepsis Thisbay. Pretty cool. I'll try to see if I can find a place I can prop down the backpack. So now I'm on the other side. So again, that's the direction from which I came. So I'm extending this just a little further, just to keep the adventure going. They're starting to get some Mariposa lilies popping up over here too. Yep, splendid Mariposa lily. Calocortus splendens. Popping up over here too now. A lot of it actually. I haven't seen Weeds Mariposa lily, the one with the yellow and splotchy coloring on it. Alright, I'm gonna go look for a little kickback spot for a minute and then get some water, get something to drink. So I'm here just relaxing, getting some water. We got a good view towards Rancho Peñasquitos Black Mountain. Right there, center stage. 1,552 feet. Been up there a couple times. It's a really cool hike. You can approach it from a few different ways. Nighthawk Trail at Hilltop Community Park on Oviedo Way. And I approached it from, I think, was it Carmel Mountain Road? The glider port area. There's a lot of stuff you can do here, or over there. There's a lot of this Mariposa lily this year. How beautiful is that? That is absolutely stunning. So I'm just going to go a little further. I'm not going to go super far because I'm thinking about making a few side trips. I want to see if I can get closer to the calmer parts of Peñasquitos Creek so I can get into maybe start see if I can find some rainbow trout or something. Because last time I was here back in June 2022, I happened to see some rainbow trout in the creek. So it'd be nice to see that again. All right, well, going to keep going a little bit further, and we'll see. Okie dokie. Coming across some red Indian pink. Right here, Silene laciniata. Should be subspecies laciniata. I think that's the... There are a couple different subspecies of this plant. I believe this is probably subspecies laciniata. But we're starting to get that popping up now too. Absolutely breathtaking plant in bloom. It's a member of the carnation and pink family, the Caryophyllaceae. An absolute stunner in mid to late spring. Look at that. And the name pink, I forgive the water bottle. The name pink doesn't come from the color of the flowers, because these are most certainly not pink. They're more of a scarlet with a slight orange lightening of them. The pinking comes from the term pink comes from the term pinking, which refers to the sheared look. It looks like it was cut and sheared, which also where the epithet laciniata comes from, which means sheared or cut. And that's where this is, right here, Silene laciniata. Again, likely subspecies laciniata, but I believe there's a subspecies mexicana as well. So yes, I'm still walking around thinking of where my turnaround point's going to be. I imagine it's going to be soon. I'm also seeing some spotlight opportunities, and I have not done a spotlight video in a very long time. So I think I'm going to be in the process of turning around. Of course, golden yarrow. That's still blooming pretty fiercely right now. Beautiful plant, oh, as always. Alright, so yeah, time for me to start thinking about my turnaround point. Yeah, I keep seeing signs. There's a plant that keeps popping up in my view that I think I'm going to need to do a spotlight video on, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this clip off, probably get into a spotlight video, and then I'll start looking at my next strategy for the hike. Alright, I think I'm going to make my first side trip. Right over here is clearing. So this is the main trail. That's where I went to visit the waterfall, and that's the direction from which I came. Now it's time for my first side trip of the day. So let's see if this... Ooh! Dasimutilla! I think that's Dasimutilla areola right there. That's a female red velvet ant right there. That's actually a type of a wasp. And I almost only see females. I think last October when I went to hike Monument Peak on PCT. I think that was when I saw my first ever male velvet ants. I think that one's Dasimutilla areola, Pacific velvet ant. You know, and I think it was last October when I went to do a Monument Peak loop. I think it was when I saw the first ever male ones, and they were one or two of them I saw was flying, kind of flying low to the ground. I don't see velvet ants very often. Now, ants and wasps are related. I think they're in the order or group Hymenoptera, I believe. Ants and wasps and bees are somewhat related in the same order. But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a velvet ant, so that's pretty cool to see. I believe that was Areola. I think that was the species. We have a few species, and I've seen at least 2 or 3 different types. I think the first one I saw was back in 2015, and it was the white one. I think it was Gloriosa, Dasimotilla gloriosa, and that was on the summit plateau of Waterman Mountain in Angeles National Forest, up in the San Gabriel Mountains of LA County. That was the first time I ever saw a velvet ant. But I've been seeing them at least a couple times a year. I'm not a major entomologist, but I like learning what I can, being able to identify what I can. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm trying to see where this trail is leading. Hope it leads over towards the water so I can get some views in there. But keep you posted where this goes. So I'm still here on this single track. It seems to be more or less paralleling the double track. That's what it appears to be doing. So I wonder if this is a cutoff that'll meet up with it later for people who don't want to deal with bikes. It's definitely worthy little diversion, I'll tell you that. Oh, maybe we'll lead further in here. I was in a meadow, and now I'm in a coast live oak woodland. All right. Maybe this will lead over by the water, I'm hoping. Oh yeah, this just took a really luscious turn. Yeah, now we're in a beautiful coast live oak woodland now. Okay, okay. I'm digging this. Digging this little turn of events. I wonder if this is just gonna meet back up with the main pathway. Kind of would like to see the calmer parts of Peñasquitos Creek to see if I can catch sight of any rainbow trout. Like I said, last time I was here, I was able to see some rainbow trout over further east in the canyon, a little bit further up actually. Yeah, I love these little upper riparian woodlands. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Ooh, a river red gum eucalyptus. I've seen a few of these pockmarking the landscape. Right here. I bet you I'm old. I'm nearly 42 years old, so I bet you I'm significantly older than this tree is. Guarantee I'm older than this tree. Eucalyptus trees, especially some species, can be unbelievably fast-growing trees. And Eucalyptus camondulensis, which that was, can be known to grow at insanely rapid speed. This is definitely a nice diversion here, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I was planning on taking some side trips to vary up the scenery so I can get as much footage of this beautiful canyon as I can as I make my return. It's a nice older sycamore right here. Nice, beautiful California sycamore. You can tell it would have been much larger, but it looks like a piece of it broke off or died off. So now that we're slightly overgrown over here, I'm going to be a little more vigilant for western poison oak, which I have spotted on parts of this trail. So it looks like we might be heading closer to the water, perhaps. I think we are. Yeah, this is breathtaking. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful portion of the canyon. Yeah, see? Just gonna kind of mind my step there a little bit. It doesn't actually seem to be heading more towards the water. It seems to be kind of weaving its way through. Ooh, some more older California sycamore trees here too. Some older specimens. There's some older stuff here too. You can tell these sycamores have suffered some damage and then they've regrown, because sycamore trees are quite resilient. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty luscious in here, I'm telling you. Yeah, poison oak comes out over here. I'm not sure if that's actually part of the trail. It appears to be heading this way. A lot of different plants here. Look at this. It appears the trail's going to meet up with the main double track momentarily. Yeah. Looks like this is the double track over here. So this was just a little diversion. Closing it like a miniature loop. So I definitely will be keeping my eye out for more loop options. So I'm going to go head this way. Heads back the way I came. And I'll catch you on the next clip. Alright, just came across some California wood sorrel. Some Oxalis californica. Right here on the side of the trail. Small population here, looks like. Pretty cool. So yes, I'm probably going to keep my eyes open to a possible climb up that side maybe. So we'll see how that works out. Alright. So okay, I'm getting ready for side trip number 2. I'm going to go through Carson's Crossing and see what the scene is like over here. So this should take us over Peñasquitos Creek. And I believe it should take us to the double track. More on the northern half of the canyon. So I've been hugging more the southern half of the canyon during this trip. And it's the first time I've spent predominantly in the southern half. The other times I've come here, parked at Canyonside Community Park. Alright. Also, our trail goes this way. Oh yeah. Watch your step, boys. It's known to grow in this area. Yeah, no surprise. That's kind of a no-brainer there. Okay, so this is Carson's Crossing. This will cross us into the northern half of the canyon, apparently. Okay, so oh yeah, this is where the calmer water is. There's more of this Anamopsis californica growing here too. Beautiful. And yes, we got more Western false indigo, Amorpha fruticosa, and it's blooming. That's those little spikes are, little floral spikes. I think the water got disturbed over there. I think something hopped in there. Yeah, I see some mosquito fish in there. All right. I think there's some more water over here, it looks like. So let's see if I can see some larger aquatic fauna over here. Here we go. No fish. Disappointing. Alright, so this is a nice wider portion of Peñasquitos Creek. I'm not seeing any fish though, other than the mosquito fish I saw in the smaller branch of the creek over on the other side. Last time I was here, I saw rainbow trout. I remember seeing it, and that was pretty cool to see. That's pretty beautiful here, I'll tell you that. So if I see some fish in there, that would really up the ante a bit. So I guess I'll continue the crossing to the start of the other trail and probably work my way back to the southern half of the canyon. Let's just finish Carson's Crossing. Carson's Crossing. I don't know why I do that. Alright. It's so lush down here. Whoa, look at this coast live oak here. Ooh, buddy. That's a nice older specimen there. So yeah, the trail I was hiking was the South Trail. This is the North Trail now. So this is the trail that leads over to Canyonside Community Park, which I'm not going to follow this time, but I just wanted to go through Carson's Crossing just for the heck of it. But yeah, you can take this all the way to Canyonside Community Park. So, back to Carson's Crossing. Time to cross this. That's the hiker crossing, and this is the equestrian crossing. So we'll go walk this way. It's just to vary the scenery, just even a little bit more. That's some old California sycamore action right there. That is some old trees. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go back to the bridge, but hey, get a nice little close-up of the water over here. Water's flowing and it's very clear looking too. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful looking water. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back on the hikers crossing. Beautiful plants, beautiful vegetation here. It's just so green. It's just so green. Green is such a great color, especially for a person who likes plants. Especially for a person who's obsessed with plants. Green. Yeah. It's green. I love green. This is so gorgeous here. That's why on my way back I'm trying to take side trips to spice it up a little bit. Alright, so I gotta go duck under this Coast Live Oak here. Back over the creek. Pretty cool. I think we've got grass leaf or western goldenrod here too, I think. Some of these plants must be them. Yeah, I see some fish. I'm assuming they're mosquito fish swimming around in there. But yeah, Amorpha fruticosa. Western false indigo bush. And it's blooming here. Yeah. That's so cool. We got Western false indigo here. There's more of it right there on the other side of the creek bank. Pretty dope. Alright, I'll see you on the next clip. Just found a spotted towhee bird. Right in that poison oak right there is a spotted towhee. Papilio maculatus. A spotted towhee. It's a type of sparrow-like bird. Yep, that's a spotted towhee right there. Look at that. Oh, little buddy. Looks like a spotted towhee to me. I don't know if the camera's getting super great footage of it. It's just hopping around in the brush. Saw a few. It looked like a few of them today, earlier. Probably not the best footage, but pretty well absconded in the brush. It's pretty cool. Looks like a spotted towhee to me. Papilio maculatus. Go. Spotted towhee. That's what that looks like to me. Okay. Pretty interesting. Alright. Now I'm going to go join the trail. Branch off again to the left. Start heading back in my return direction. Heading over this way. Alright, so it's time for another little side trip. We'll probably be taking a few more of these, hopefully. So there's our main south trail. Here's a little single track break off right here. Let's see where this goes. There's some marvelous coast live oaks. And of course we still got our scrub oaks too. There are so many scrub oaks in this canyon. Absolutely love it. Yeah, some of these coast live oaks look very large and very old. Some of these are probably very old specimens. So let's see how far I can take this. Okay, some more purple flowered action. Headphone warning. Another loud jet. Oh boy. I'm trying to avoid that. Western blue-eyed grass. This is Erynchium bellum again. Very beautiful as usual. And more Sidalceus marcifolia. Actually erased a clip that had a loud flowering flying jet, but I was in the middle of talking. I didn't want to read back, so I'll just write headphone warning. Alright. Some poison oak getting pretty close to the trail over here, so I'll just watch my step. Just love this understory. It's just so wooded. It's just so wooded. Think about canyon bottoms. Oh. Ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Something was running in there. Okay. Well, we're back on the main trail again. And these little cutoffs add a little variety. There's that Anamopsis californica again. Gosh, these things are so beautiful. Yerba mansa. Alright. So peaceful out here. Just this little marshy meadow here. So this area must flood quite often. That's probably why a lot of these plants are growing here. That's probably why we have a lot of this yerba mansa over here. Alright, well, I'll keep on keeping you updated as I continue to work my way back. Alright, so I'm a little ways on my way back on this side trip. So I'm going to go ahead and make another quickie. Okay, let's go take a look at this one and see what happens over here. Let's see what kind of juicy tidbits will be found along this stretch. All right, so we're, yeah, here we go, Poison Oak. Just watching out. Oh, yeah. More of this yerba mansa. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I'm just watching my step. There's some poison oak close to the edge of the trail, so that's why I'm slowing down. Especially when the trail narrows like it does over here quite a bit. Oh yeah, here it is growing right over the trail, so gotta kind of skirt by. Okay, we have it over here on the side of the trail. Yes, that's why I'm just walking very cautiously to get by it. All right, so looks like we have options here. There's a left fork and a right fork. Which am I gonna choose? I guess I'll go right. Let's start off going right. Maybe if it gets, maybe I'll check the other fork. Okay, pretty nice, pretty nice. Huh. Mexican fan palms. Washingtonia robusta. Some young ones. And then Phoenix canariensis, Canary Island date palm. This is a pretty nice little trail. Let's see what else I can find along here. I'll keep you posted. I hear myself getting pretty close to Peñasquitos Creek again. So I'm trying to see what the deal is. Watch out for the mud there. Looks like some of the water seems to go underground and then continue on the other side here. Wow, this is magnificently beautiful here. Now we're getting into some close contact poison oak. So I'm just gonna mind my P's and Q's walking through this part here. Oh, and there, Mexican fan palm, Washingtonia robusta. Got his petticoat. In other words, the big thatch of dead leaves, dead fronds. That's what they call a petticoat. And there's a larger Canary Island date palm over here too. Okay. All right, so what a sylvan glen here. What a beauty. This area is gorgeous. Hear a rooster in somebody's yard up on the hill. It's pretty cool. Ooh, Douglas mugwort. Here's another species of Artemisia. Artemisia douglasiana. Douglas mugwort. That's another, that's 3 species of Artemisia. I believe parts, I think I've been in an area where 4 species of Artemisia were growing. Artemisia californica, Artemisia palmeri, Artemisia douglasiana, and Dracunculus, the dragon sagewort. Pretty cool. All right. I'm assuming this is probably going to lead up to the North Trail. I'm assuming. So we'll see. I'll keep on moving and keep you updated. Alright, so I'm coming out here, more open spot, and some random prickly pear. Here's something. I'm wondering if that's just a regular coast prickly pear there. And then, there is a very interesting looking prickly pear there as well. It might be a hybrid, I don't know. But then, there's an Indian fig or mission prickly pear right there, with humongous pads on it. Ooh, look at the flower here. Look at that Datura righty, sacred or western Jimson weed. I've had to kind of this path gets pretty narrow and lots of poison oak, so I'm kind of trying to be extra cautious. This is a pretty decent length side path here. This one's gone on for a while. It's mostly stuck to this wooded area. So it's very luscious here. If you like being in the woods, Peñasquitos Canyon, especially the canyon bottom and the north-facing slopes on the south rim, very woodsy. Now a lot of these coast live oaks here look like they're struggling. There's some coast live oaks here, they're not doing so well. I wonder if this is just going to lead to the regular path, because this doesn't seem to be crossing or heading to the other side. It seems to be kind of meandering, which is fine. I was just wondering if this was going to lead to the North Trail, because I've been hiking I hiked the South Trail to get to the waterfall, so that's the South Trail. I'm thinking this is just an alternative route for people looking for. Ooh, very handsome, very beautiful. Very handsome. But yeah, I'm wondering if this is just a more meandering cutoff path that'll lead back to the larger double track. If that's the case, then fine. I said, doing this on the way back kind of adds a little more spice and variety to what's already been an amazing trip here in Peñasquitos Canyon. If it adds a little more mileage to it, that's great, because almost walked into a spider web. I was trying to eventually get to the mountains, so I can start doing longer hikes up there. But we'll see. This is gorgeous. Last week, the 3 spots I visited totaled up to about 5 miles. So I'm getting back up there a little bit. Today's hike will be probably a little over 5 miles as well, especially the side trips. This is more of a meandering path as opposed to the straighter path, the double track that I took to get towards the waterfall. So I'm just wondering if this is going to eventually lead back to the double track. There's so many Canary Island date. So many of these Canary Island date palms everywhere here. In this area, there are more Canary Island date palms than there are Mexican fan palms. That's crazy. So I'm already on memory card number 2. I did record a probably about a 10-12 minute spotlight video earlier, so yeah, this video is going to be a very long one. And you know what? So be it. A lot to show, a lot to see, a lot to experience. Wow, this is very selvatic. I can hear people off in the distance, so I'm probably getting close to the double track by now. I'm assuming this is going to meet up by the double track. Alright, time to mind my P's and Q's over here. I see poison oak over here as well. So, okay, at least we... Oh yeah, Camino Ruíz trail's coming up. Yeah, so I'm going to basically come up to that junction. Yeah, there it is. So this is going to cross the double track and start heading me up to Camino Ruíz. Oh boy, poison oak is very close in contact over here. Okay. Yeah. I was kind of suspecting that this was going to branch right off and meet up with the Camino Ruíz trail. Yeah, so this was that first junction. We're going to go up that way to head up the hill. But, yeah. Yeah. So this is that first junction right here. Yep. So I came from this way. Went that way to the waterfall. Pretty cool. Peñasquitos Creek Crossing. At 0.1. Let's see. I'm gonna take a quick side trip. One more side trip before I start climbing up to Camino Ruíz Park. This has been a magnificent adventure. Absolutely marvelous day out here. Really enjoyed this a lot. So I guess I'll go down this way a little bit more. Just to add a little short out and back. That's been a pretty cool adventure. Look at that canyon wall. How beautiful is that? I'm going to be going up through that. Huge. Yeah. That's coyote brush here. Looks like coyote brush. Got a lot of it here. See. It's weird now, I'm just thinking about it. The whole time I've been here, I haven't seen any laurel sumac. I have not seen one laurel sumac today on my hike. That's so weird. I mean, most of the time I've been down here in the canyon bottom. Heading up the trail. Oh, there's a humongous mule fat. Look at this. Another species of Baccharis. Look at the stems on this mule fat. dang. There's a nice old California sycamore right there. Look at that. What a beauty. That's a big tree. Let's see what's up here. Peñasquitos Creek Crossing. All right, I'll meet you over there, and we'll see. Okay. I think I was supposed to turn. There's a side trail off to the left before I got over. Ooh, an acorn woodpecker. I love this. I love those birds. They're so exuberant. They're so charismatic. I've been hearing them squawking all morning long here in the lower canyon part. Here's a really old sycamore here. You can tell this one's very old. Kind of in rough shape too. This one's probably hundreds of years old. Wow, this thing's probably very old. Wow. Barely hanging on. It's probably been through centuries of this canyon bottom. Yeah, another acorn woodpecker. I believe that. Is that the bird? Yeah. At the top of that sycamore bough. Right there in the center. Another acorn woodpecker. Birds are fun. They're such fun creatures to watch. And there's that north-facing slope, that big south rim of the canyon. Look how dramatic that is. I can see a bunch of wild cucumber, spiny cucumber vines draped all over those scrub oaks on that hill. That is amazing. That is an amazing sight to behold. So yes, I'm doing another short out and back over this way. Yes, to see the creek crossing, I probably would have had to bear off on a small single track side trail. I was curious about what's going on over here. Here's another struggling sycamore right here. Yeah, there's that north-facing slope right there. See lots of tangles of lemonade berry, coastal scrub oak. Yeah, I have not seen one laurel sumac on my hike today. That's crazy. I'm so used to seeing that plant everywhere. Look at this blue elder. Look at this. Look at the huge leaves on this one. Every now and then you'll find some with some humongous leaves. This is a whole leaf right here. This whole thing. These are leaflets here. It's pinnate leaf compound. Leaflets on that thing are massive. Must be a real vigorous sprout. Yeah, some of these sycamores have definitely seen some struggles. Probably some of it's probably due to anthracnose fungus that usually attacks the plants in the humid early half of the spring. And I noticed there was a lot of that last year. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about not seeing laurel sumac, and now I finally see it after a few hours of rambling and ambling. So I have to make it my habit to point it out. Here we go, Melosma laurina, laurel sumac. First one I've seen of the day. Okay, I'm glad I saw one. I love seeing those. I love those plants. I love laurel sumac. It's such a fun plant to see while hiking. And these coast live oaks have been struggling here, but a lot of ones here are doing really well. There's another larger Canary Island date palm. Might be able to barely see the fronds of it. There's a larger Canary Island date palm in there. I'm just going to keep following this for a little while. Just enjoying my time out here. Got a late start today. I didn't leave the house till probably close to 10 a.m. So missed the rush hour traffic, which is a W in my book. Still got to come out here and enjoy the beautiful sights here in Peñasquitos Canyon. Yeah, I've been doing a lot more canyon hikes lately, as opposed to peak climbs. I haven't done peak climbs for a few weeks. Actually, it's been a little over a month. And that's all right. I'll have time for that. Especially I got a vacation coming up in a couple weeks. I'm gonna probably be spending it in Big Bear. Ooh, here we go again. Amorpha fruticosa. Western false indigo bush. Look at that. Those are the spikes of flowers. Yeah. I don't see this one super often. There are two species that grow here in Southern California. This one, which is a lower elevation plant, usually below 5,000 feet. Usually way lower than that. We're just a little, maybe a couple hundred feet above sea level here, if even. And this one's usually found closer to riparian areas where there's either above ground or underground water. Usually not right in the creek bed, but usually a little bit above it. And these are the flowers. These are the spikes of flowers. You can see this European honeybee enjoying it right now. So that's just a gang of flowers. It's a member of the pea family, the Fabaceae. It's a winter deciduous shrub, so during the winter months, this thing is bare and leafless. So it sheds its leaves in autumn, and is leafless during the winter time. Yeah, this is the lower elevation. If you go higher up, a little bit higher elevations, and usually drier locations, you'll see another very similar specimen, and that's California false indigo, which is Amorpha californica, variety californica. That one's usually a higher elevation and usually drier locations. George Carter and Will Rogers Trail, huh? Interesting. So I'm going to go just a little bit more. Just follow this for a little bit more, and then I'll start turning back and working my way back to Camino Ruíz. Say, somebody's planting coast live oaks here. Good. Good. I like that. That's very good. A few on this side. All right. See you on the next clip. Another stop on our botanical tour. Peñasquitos Canyon. California Rose. Just caught a whiff of this right now. Rosa californica. Always a pleasure to see, especially in mid-spring. Always a pleasure to see that plant. Especially when it's blooming. I mean, it's beautiful all year round. Later summer and fall, they'll have red rose hips that are supposed to be high in vitamin C. But seeing them and experiencing their perfumed aroma in the mid-spring is always such a delight. I think there's going to be some wild grape around here. I thought I saw a dried leaf of a wild grape. I just can't stop going. I feel like this can go on for a little while more before I make my return up to Camino Ruíz. right there where those two Mexican fan palms are, right next to that's a coast redwood, it looks like. Unless that's an Aleppo pine. It's hard to tell from here, actually. It looks like a coast redwood. They do plant them here in San Diego sometimes. Yeah, I can't tell, actually. It might be an Aleppo pine that's just gnarly columnar. Oh, it's the Fremont cottonwood. Populus fremontii, subspecies fremontii. Just a random piece of it growing right out here. Yeah, I'm not sure now. I'm trying to see. I can't tell. It's so far away. Yeah, that pine-looking tree up there. It actually looks more like a coast redwood. Yeah, I think that's a coast redwood. Yeah, looks like a coast redwood. The texture of the foliage. Yeah, Sequoia sempervirens. I don't see them super often here in the San Diego area. I used to see a lot of them planted in Orange County, though. And Orange County seems to have a lot of planted redwoods. Let's look at it. More western false indigo. Oh, tangles of it. And here's some more of it right here on the side of the trail. There's a lot of it here. Yeah, look at that. There's a lot of this here. Just basically a whole patch of it here. Just growing right on the side of the trail. And now we got poison oak's cousin growing right next to poison oak. Okay. So, oh no, that is poison oak. I thought it was skunk bush at first because of the smaller leaflets. No, that's poison oak. I wouldn't be surprised to see skunk brush here either. Look at it. All of this western false indigo is just covering this opening here. That's incredible. Oh, here we go. Here we got some Fremont cottonwoods. These look like these were planted here, maybe for reforestation. Now I'm going to be smart. I'm going to make the left here and start working my way this way and see what I find. Yeah, I've got some more acorn woodpeckers hanging out up here. Let's make this left here and see what I can find. All right, I'm going to take the right fork again, I guess. So let's see. Back to some side trail action. We just got shady really quickly. I have a feeling this will probably link up with the trail again. Is my prediction. So it's just another cool little side trip over here. Which is fine. Varies up the scenery a little bit. Yeah, we're right back at the double track already. That was a really short side trip. Okay. Maybe we'll just keep this going for a little while more. Okay. Well, see you on the next clip. See what else we find. Gotta be some more stuff to this awesome canyon. Okay, next little side trip. Let's go see this one. On my way back, I'll probably just take the double track. Started seeing some more Fremont cottonwood action over here. Some prickly pear. Not sure if that's western prickly pear, mesa prickly pear. I suspect that's one of those two, probably. Puntia occidentalis or Puntia vacii. I suspect. I think the coast prickly pear would typically be more densely covered in long spines. Yeah, these little side paths are pretty cool. Get down in the woods Here's a non-native cheeseweed, or small flowered mallow, Malva parviflora, and Raphanus sativus. Very nice. Yeah, this side seems to have more sycamores too. Ooh, is that a bush tit? Yeah, this is a small bush tit. Salterpars minimus. Yeah, that was a little bush tit. Really tiny birds, even smaller than our wren tits. Wren tits, which are not really related to bush tits. Yeah, bush tits are tiny birds. Kind of similar looking. Kind of stocky bodies, short, stubby, brownish color. Oh, look at this. Look at the architecture on this coast live oak here. What a magnificent younger adult here. I mean, it's not like young, but it's not a super old tree either, but it's just got some beautiful architecture. Okay, we're just about back at the double track already. So that's what these little trips are. These are little diversions that cut in and out of the double track. That's a nice coast live oak. Here's a young lemonade berry right here. What have they planted? Look at they planted those coast live oaks under here. Interesting. They planted them underneath the parent tree, or the larger tree. Planted some more out here too, it looks like. They need a lot of planting over here. Should be careful how closely they plant these together though. Should give them a little space. There's a white mulberry, young white mulberry tree in here. Right there, Morris alba. I can see mulberries developing on it. That's a little mulberry tree. I don't see those super often in the wild. However, mulberry tree, if you live in an area where mulberry trees are planted, you will see lots of mulberry seedlings and saplings. They germinate everywhere in the middle of the suburban interface. So they will pop. You get them germinating in your yard. That's a very common occurrence, but I don't see them super often out in the wild, like here in the middle of coast live oak woodlands. So here's the creek again. Got really close to the creek. Very beautiful creek. I like this little creek. Seems to have water in it all year round too. Seems to be more of a perennial stream, which is great. That's why it's so lush here with all these willows and sycamores and it's coast live oaks. So Acar's grave. I guess I'll take a little side trip. Alright. Oh yeah, there's the grave marker. Alright, so let's go respectfully take a look and see what this is all about. So I'm just going to go branch off here on this side path and I'll go take a look. Alright, looks like there's a little literature. Oh boy. This person was buried here a long time ago. John Joseph Acar. Wow. He died just about 100.5 years before I was even born. Born in 1982. All right. Okay. Born in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, great-grandson of a younger prince of the House of Acar in Eichstätt, Bavaria, Germany. He left for the New World around 1750. The prince with his wife and 2 children. Left in 1750 because of the wars in Germany. Prince and his wife passed away en route, leaving Peter and Barbara orphans, raised by Quakers. John Acar's father David was born in 1790 to Peter Acar and Nancy Smith, youngest of 8 children. John Joseph Acar was the first of 5 children born to David and Elizabeth Reed. There's not much known about John Acar's first wife, Mary Bonavitz, and their 3 sons. John married Harriet on December 1850, 2 children, a son Charles and a daughter Harriet. Charles died 10 months after his father in October 1882 at only 16 years of age. Harriet, his daughter, was born in 1882. Mrs. H.S. Acar was destitute after Charles's passing. Wow. Okay, it's not known how or when John Acar came to California. However, his name was not on the 1880 census of the ranch. John was believed to be a ranch cook when he died of tuberculosis. Wow. The only known American to have been buried in the Los Peñasquitos Canyon area, even though many people have lived here. People who buried him must have cared greatly, for his large marble headstone was expensive and difficult to transport. Let's just go take a very respectful look and well-wishings for the resting of John J. Acar. Wow. Rest in peace. Continue resting in peace. Wow. Pretty interesting. A little history. Very interesting. Little piece of history of the area. 142 years ago. Wow. All right. I think I'm going to be hitting my turnaround pretty soon, I'm assuming. And we'll start getting ready to start heading back and start heading up towards Camino Ruíz again. Ooh, look at that coyote brush. Goodness gracious, look at this. That's a monster coyote brush right there. Baccharis pillalara subspecies consanguinea. Wow, that's a monster. Okay. A little piece of history. All right. Let's see what happens before I turn around. Another spotted towhee. Kind of messing around in the brush right there. Looks like another spotted towhee. That's the second one I've seen piddling around in the brush today. I wonder, I gotta figure out more about their life, natural history. Because I saw one earlier on another one of these side trails, on one of the side trails. It seems like it's digging around by that branch. But yeah, it appears like it's another spotted towhee. Papillo maculatus. There's another side trail here. I think I might ignore that one this time. Let's see. Yeah, I know. It's a very long video. I know. Oh, I almost thought that was a tulip tree or a tulip poplar. But no, it looks like a London plane tree planted over here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. That's not a California sycamore. It could be an American sycamore too. That looks like it could be Platanus occidentalis. That's definitely not a California sycamore. I can tell the shape of the leaves. This is, though. That is a California sycamore, without a doubt. So, let's see. What am I going to find here? Now we're starting to see laurel sumac again. There's a nice large one right in here. Another beautiful Melosma laurina. Yeah, now we're starting to see it popping up now, which I'll take that as a W in my book. Some large ones. Oh, hold up. Oh, this is a big one. This is what I call an OG right here. Ooh, it's a whole thicket of laurel sumac. I wonder if these are, well, I wonder if these are all from the same root system. See all these logs here? These look like all parts of a laurel. These are all laurel sumac. This thing must have been an absolute gargantuan monster. So I'm wondering if this is all connected as one root system. Because some of those logs that fell over look massive. Ranch house crossing. Ranch house 0.3. I think maybe I'll head over there. Maybe I'll head over to the ranch house. So this is approximately where I am, because that's the grave site. So I am roughly somewhere over here. So yeah. Trying to see where Camino Ruíz is on here. Could be on this side, on the south side of the canyon. Eventually I will need to go and check out Lopez Canyon. That's supposed to be a really cool spot that connects to this, and you can make a big monster hike if you wanted to link to it. But yeah, this is where the grave site is here. Canyonside Park is just up here, so I'm not that far from Canyonside Community Park. And so I've been taking these little side trails here. Peñasquitos Creek Park, if I cross, I would have gone up that way. I've been by that the first time I was here. That's along the north trail. This is the south trail here that I've been taking predominantly. So let's see. I guess I'm at the ranch house crossing. Interesting. So I'll just go ahead and cross to this, I guess. Here's a sign about laurel sumac. Birds like the insects and small seeds found on this common evergreen shrub. 8 to 12 feet tall. Taco-shaped leaves. Yep. Here's a small one right here, actually. It's a baby. Pretty interesting. So what I'm doing now is actually continuing straight. I was at that junction. I'm actually continuing straight on the double track. So I came across a couple that was having a romantic moment, so I didn't want to spoil it. So I figured I would just continue going up this way for a while and check out this more open area. A lot of scrub oak around here. A lot of scrub oak. I'm just going to follow this for a little while more. Why not? Now we're getting more open here, so get to see some more open terrain. Now all of a sudden, laurel sumac is everywhere. I'll take it. I wonder if this is going to lead to Mercy Road, the Mercy Road staging area. I might make that my official turnaround, possibly. I might do that. See how much further I feel like going. Yeah, I think we're getting close to it. Yeah, that up there, that's Miramar Benchmark, Hill 844. Did that hike back in February. That's Canyon Hills open space up there. The 3 little towers up there. Been up there at one. That was a fun little hike. I made a 2 mile, I think it was about a roughly 2 mile loop hike out of that. That was a fun one too. It was a beautiful hike. It was when the coastal sage scrub was green from all the rain. Ooh, hello Toy Yon. Hello Lemonade Berry. Lemonade Sumac. I have a feeling This is going to lead over by the main staging area, not the Canyonside Community Park staging area. There's another staging area. I think it's on Mercy Road, if I remember correctly. This might get me towards Mercy Road. And it looks like, I think that's Sabre Springs open space over there. I think that's what that is over there. Yeah, that's a beautiful canyon. So yep, there it is. Miramar Benchmark. Beautiful place that is too. Look how much lower the hills are on this side. We're getting some giant sycamores, big sycamore trees. So maybe at my turnaround point, which looks like it's going to be within a quarter or a third of a mile up ahead, probably be my turnaround point. This is really a really awesome canyon. I probably won't film as much on the way back because I've already covered this territory. So I think, yeah, that's got to be Sabre Springs open space over there. So we can get up to North Van Dam Peak, which should be up somewhere a little bit further off to the left. So that's Black Mountain right there. I've always admired Black Mountain ever since I was a kid. All right, let's see what lies ahead as I get close to my turnaround. We're getting some more interesting non-native botany over here. There's a Brazilian pepper tree, which is more of a large shrub over here. And then it looks like we got a Chinese elm over there. There's one thing that the northern half of this canyon has, and that's the northern part of the canyon, especially when you start heading west from Canyonside Community Park. You start seeing honey mesquite in this canyon. It's one of the few places west of the deserts where you're going to find it. So on the other side, towards that way, like Canyonside Community Park, is where there's a population of honey mesquite. I don't think I'm going to be going that far today. There's a cottontail coming up, probably an Audubon's. Little bunny sitting towards the left side of the trail there. Little Audubon's cottontail, I'm assuming. We also have Bachman's cottontail too. I love seeing those little guys. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Ooh. Wow. Can't believe how close I was able to get to that. I've just found a type of evening primrose. Time to dig in the field guide. Alright, just about to reach my turnaround point. I believe this is up at Mercy Road. I'll just walk over to the street and kind of check it out. I'm pretty sure that's Mercy Road up ahead. So this is the staging area. This over here, you have to pay a fee to park here at this spot. Ooh, California poppy, Schultzia californica. A few little poppies around here. I'm gonna follow this. Just follow this road over there. I believe that's Mercy Road. That should be Mercy Road. Not that far from Interstate 15 either. Really close to it, actually. So, get back to you momentarily. Yeah, just about to reach the end of it here. Let's see. Should be Mercy Road up ahead. I'm just going to double check. There's a traffic light controlled intersection over here, so should be able to confirm that momentarily. What do we have over here? Oh, this looks like a hybrid lemonade berry slash sugar sumac or sugar bush. This looks like a hybrid. This looks like a hybrid between Rus integrifolia and Rus ovata. It's a little bit more of a lean towards Rus integrifolia. That's what this looks like. This looks like this has hybrid DNA between sugar bush, Rus ovata, and lemonade berry, Rus integrifolia. Yeah, this is definitely more intermediate. Like I said, it leans a little bit more towards Rus integrifolia, the lemonade berry, which of course is this. They usually have a little bit smaller leaves than that. So yeah. Oh, here we go. This might be why the intermediacy. There's a sugar bush right there, Rus ovata. That's a sugar bush. That's a sugar bush, sugar sumac, and that's a lemonade berry, lemonade sumac. So apparently, with the sugar bush or sugar sumac and the lemonade berry or lemonade sumac, we do have a hybrid over here. And yes, this is Black Mountain Road over here, and this is Mercy Road going that way. So yes, I made it all the way to Mercy Road. Pretty interesting. Okay, well, this is my turnaround point. Very interesting. An interesting botanical find right here on the side of the road. Just made my trip even more interesting. So yeah, that's a hybrid. It's been a while since I've seen a hybrid lemonade berry and sugar bush right here. Very cool. Very cool. And there's another one here too, by the way. This is another hybrid. Very interesting. Just made my day even more interesting than it already was. And it already was a fantastically awesome day to begin with. All right. And there's the way down towards the parking area. Very interesting. This is a very interesting canyon. I've had a lot of fun experiences hiking here. Well, this is only the third time I've been here. Each of these three times has been something interesting. So here's another Rus ovata right here, sugar bush or sugar sumac. These were planted here. I guarantee you these are planted here. Usually got to go a little further inland for them. They occasionally come by the coastal areas, and there's Rus integrifolia. So then I got to see the intermediate hybrid. Okay, I'll take it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk around this way. It's another spotlight opportunity too. It's on the other side of Mercy. It's on the other side of Black Mountain Road, though. I don't think I can safely get over there. It'd be kind of uncomfortable. I was hoping a population of it would be in here as well, because I'd be able to spotlight it. If you're looking across the road, those tall plants with the white flowers, those are probably hairy matiliha poppies. Ramnia trichocalyx, probably what that species is there. So this is where the horses, this is the equestrian staging area, apparently. Very interesting. Okay, wow. A lot of interesting botany here in this canyon. All right. Well, see if there are any other little finds before I leave. Seems like I'm almost unwilling to stop the adventure from happening. Alright, so I kind of went around the equestrian staging area, the lower parking lot. The last picture was a plant I have to kind of do a little research on. It appears to be some type of a filiary in the Geraniaceae, the geranium family. But I couldn't make out what species it is. I thought maybe it was California macrophylla, the California filiary, but the flowers on that are larger and white, while those were tiny with narrow purple petals. So I have to pretty much scratch that out of the equation. Okay, well, it looks like I'm looping back, and this is the start of my return back to Camino Ruíz Park. So let's see. Let's get this return trip started. This will be pretty much the end of my wanderings, but I still need to hike the distance back. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, I don't see any honey mesquites on this side. Like I said, you enter from the Canyonside Community Park and you hike in westbound from Canyonside Community Park, you'll come across a large population of honey mesquite. And that's something you'd normally find in the lower desert regions like Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. Occasionally in inland Riverside County before you even get to the deserts, but not very common on the coastal side. So I'm not heading that way today. I'm completely on the other side, and I'm going to start making my way back. But believe me, we'll be returning to this canyon again. I might have documented him. I did a spotlight video in this canyon on the honey mesquite. I did the spotlight video near the trail west of Canyonside Park. Look for that if you're interested. Alright, keep walking back. Alright, one more side trip. This can't be helped. One more little side trip. This isn't going to be a long one today. This will be a shorter one. Just because that's here. So yeah, we've got a lot of native California sycamores. A lot of non-native trees in here as well. Appears that we have Shamel ash, Fraxinus uddi. Of course, another river red gum, Eucalyptus comodulensis. And Chinese flame tree, Colorateria bipinnata. Oh, and another one, Melaleuca viminalis, weeping bottlebrush, also known as Callistamen viminalis. Okay, well, this will probably just be a little short, little side trip here. I'm assuming this will probably meet up with the canyon, the main canyon trail. So I'm just gonna follow this. So forget it, just do it. All right, here's a plant you don't want to mess with. Also non-native, and this is poison hemlock. This is that plant that Socrates consumed that did him in. Yeah, Conia maculatum, genus Conium. So this is a plant you don't want to mess with. And why what's the identifying factor? The purple splotches on the stems, splotchy, maculatum, spotted, and white, small white flower heads. It's not a plant you want to ingest any part at all. So it looks a lot like this other non-native related plant, and this is sweet fennel, Foeniculum vulgare. It looks a lot like this plant, which also gets those umbels of flowers but are a little more yellowish. However, fennel won't do you in. Hemlock will. And the foliage is a lot finer on the fennel plant. What do we got here? Goodings willow. Goodings willow and seed. Little tufty seed capsules. Yeah. So you can tell they're related to the cottonwoods. Little tufted seeds. So, yeah. And then what kind of prickly pear are we viewing here? This one kind of reminds me more of Opuntia auricola, the chaparral prickly pear. The arrangement of the spines on the stem, definitely, yeah, this definitely looks like Opuntia auricola. Sometimes these things grow more vertically, and you can tell the very densely packed spines and the relatively rounded pads and the upright growth. The more upright growth are characteristics of Opuntia auricola, as opposed to Opuntia littoralis, Opuntia vacei, and Opuntia occidentalis, which tend to be more of a sprawling, not so much upright growth habit. Auricola tends to be a little more upright, sometimes very upright and quite tall. All right, and more of our coastal scrub oak, also known as Nuttall scrub oak, Quercus dumosa. And here we're going to enter a little copse of it right here, actually. Oh, very nice. Oh, okay, this just took another interesting turn. Oh, this is a humongous one. Oh, boy. Look at this Quercus dumosa. Oh, man, this ain't so dumosa. Dumosa is basically Latin for shrubby, scrubby. This ain't so dumosa, is it? This is Quercus dumosa. This is the species, but oh man, this is a monster. What an absolute monster. This should all be one oak right here. Multi-trunked. This thing is a massive one. Oh, this is one of the largest ones I've seen up close today. Yeah, Quercus dumosa. Look at this. Look at the size of the stems on this. Oh, man. This is amazing. This is a monster scrub oak. Oh, man. This is technically a shrub, but it's the size of a tree. Again, semantics really don't mean that much. This thing is big. Wow, what a beauty. This is a cool find. I'm glad I took this side trail. This is absolutely breathtaking. This is what I'm talking about. This is an absolute monster scrub oak. Oh man, Quercus dumosa. Whoo-wee. That's what I'm talking about. All right, well, on I go. Any other surprises awaiting me? And continuing along those lines, San Diego marsh elder, Eva haziana. That's another plant to look for here in Peñasquitos Canyon. Of course, more awesome laurel sumac. Yeah, took me a while to come across that one today, but boy, am I glad I did. I'm assuming this is going to meet up with the trail. If it does, great. So that's why this is going to be probably one of my longest videos. There's a big laurel sumac in the middle of this sycamore thicket. Okay. Okay. Feeling the love today, I tell you. All this awesome action here. This beautifully packed canyon of botanical wonders. It's hard for me to focus on my way of getting to the trailhead because there's just too much going on here to ignore. That looks like Coast prickly pear right there. I'd have to examine the spines if they're round or squared in cross section. The ones that are flatter in cross section, I believe, are the Opuntia vacea and occidentalis, if I remember correctly. But I don't feel like pricking my fingers today. So I'll just enjoy these prickly pears for what they are. Beautiful native cactus plants growing in the middle, oh, right next to the woods. Alright, so back in the woods again. And as I continue on, I'll keep you updated. Let's see what other things. Am I coming across an old sycamore? Let me see. Yeah, this one's got some age to it. What is that? A trunk of an elder? Oh no, it's a trunk of an... Is this an arroyo willow? Dang! That's a pretty old arroyo willow trunk right there. Okay. I'm coming across a non-native garden plant that's escaped from cultivation. Garden nasturtium, sometimes pronounced nasturtium. Has Tropaeolum maius. It's in its own family, Tropaeolaceae. Some say it's an annual, some say it's a perennial. So I'm wondering if it's a short-lived perennial. Or, I don't know. And they come with multiple colors, too. Orange, yellow. Sometimes I see some pinkish and variegated colors. I think this is... Yeah, okay, this is where I was earlier. This is where I kind of briefly stuck my head over here, looked around, and then there were some people, there were two, I guess husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, hugging and stuff like that, and I didn't want to disturb them. That's why I kind of went around, but okay. Wow. Yeah, this is the adventure just continues. And at the other side of this is an old sycamore. This is probably all one tree too. This is a big one. Platanus racemosa. Wow. I love when they get multi-trunked like this. It's just so amazing. I'm assuming this is one tree, but I could be mistaken. Could be mistaken. Wow. Beautiful area. Ooh, and I see tadpoles again. Just like last week. Yeah, there are tadpoles in here too. Okay. Kind of hard to see on camera because it's so dark. It's still pretty overcast here. It's kind of hard to see anything. Wow. I see water snails in there too. So this must be probably a Baja chorus frog breeding pool here. Yeah, I do. I see several tadpoles hanging out in there. Be cool to see some chorus frogs. That would be really cool to see. But I don't see them super often. Be cool to see though, I'm not gonna lie. I always love seeing amphibians. I love frogs. Be cool to see a chorus frog. Be cool to see a spadefoot toad. That would really drive my juices crazy. Alright, well, probably start heading back. Just take this back to where I came from visiting earlier. Peñasquitos Creek is so cool. Alright, I guess I'll take a picture or two and start moving on. So I'm back on the other side of the creek crossing. Come across a large brickle bush here, another California Burkelia, or brickle bush. This is Burkelia californica. Very handsome specimen too, very beautiful. Very nice size thicket, mini thicket. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get back the way I came, and there's a main double track trail. Just keep heading back towards the Camino Ruíz trail and start wrapping up this hike. There's another trail over there, which I think I'm going to omit today. Alright, start banking over here, start heading back. There's that old laurel sumac thicket right there. A magnificent one. And I saw this sage earlier, but I didn't realize how large and old it was. Beautiful. Alright, well, keep working my way back. Beautiful trails here. Beautiful trails. Totally recommend hiking here. Alright, well, unless something crazy comes back, I'll probably see you back near Camino Ruíz trail junction. So, still working my way back past Akar's grave. And just taking a moment here just to admire these tangles of chaparral shrubs. I mean, think of chaparral, you probably think of fairly dry areas, not as dry as deserts, obviously, but you think chaparral grows in some fairly dry places. But then, look on this north-facing slope, you look at it, you think, it looks like we're talking about elfin forest, which is a nickname for the chaparral because of its short stature. But I'm looking at this, almost thinking elfin jungle. Just look at how entangled everything is. I'm just looking at this, just awe-inspired by how absolutely thick and dense it is, almost like an elfin jungle. Never mind an elfin forest. I'm talking about an elfin jungle. In some of these scrub oak stands here with all the vines sprawled out over them. And then of course the poison oak also sprawling out in these lower slopes here. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, it looks like a jungle. It looks like a jungle. I mean, a lot of the trees in the Amazon are probably, a lot of the top canopy trees are probably over 200 feet tall. So, you know, I'm talking about an elfin jungle of tangled chaparral that just grows crazy together. Love it. It's so beautiful. And just some of these scrub oaks are just so huge. That's another humongous scrub oak right there. I could see it's probably got a trunk that's at least a foot in diameter. That's pretty good for a shrub. Actually, yeah, I can look at the base of that one. It looks like it might actually be more than a foot. Maybe we're like 15 or 16 inches wide. Maybe. So yeah, some of these chaparral shrubs just get humongous. But yeah, here we go. Populus fremontii, subspecies fremontii, the Fremont cottonwood. Yes, indeed. So, all right, just figured I would point that out as I'm still working my way back. I assume I probably have about a mile before I hit the top of the trail at the park. So, just gonna soak it in and just enjoy it. And I'll see you along the way. We're back at the junction pretty soon, I imagine. Another cottontail. Look at that little guy. Right on that log. Wow. Pretty cute. Very nice looking bunny. Yep. Okay. Still working my way back along this trail. Haven't reached the junction yet. Suspect it won't be that much longer, honestly. I did extend this hike quite a bit more than I expected I would. Still working on getting back towards the trail junction. It's already almost 3:30 right now. Been at this for a few hours, which is great. It's exactly what I needed. Didn't need a really super short little itty bitty hike. I needed to spread myself out and go to some spots. Peñasquitos Creek Park crossing. Yeah, I went all the way to Mercy Road. Went about 2.4 miles to the waterfall, and then I went a little bit further after that. Went back, and then I went all the way to Mercy Road at the Mercy Road staging area at the top of Mercy Road. Right at Mercy Road and Black Mountain Road. And now I am starting to not starting, I've been at this for a little while already, but working my way back to Camino Ruíz. Shouldn't be that much longer. And then I'm going to start climbing back up towards the park, and that'll basically do it for the hike. So, unless anything else crazy comes up, I'll basically see you there. Alright, so I am just about back at the trail. So this is the south trail. This is what I was taking earlier, the 1.8 miles from here. Now what I got to do is start climbing back up towards Camino Ruíz. So here we go. This is probably going to be the steepest part of the hike's going to be, because I'm going to be climbing this back uphill. But it's only about 200 feet of elevation gain, if I remember correctly. So it's not like a major mountain climb, but after putting in good few miles today, I'll probably feel a little bit more. But just take some time to appreciate this beautiful trail. This lower portion here is where you got to look out more for poison oak. The middle and upper portions, it didn't seem to be too intrusive. But yes, here we go again. Shiny leaf barberry, Berber's pinnata pinnata. Yep. There's a lot of it. Or at least a fair amount of it. Pretty decent amount of it along this trail. And again, this is where we're going to be climbing through the scrub oak forest. And I should be about, I believe, 0.6 miles from that junction back up to the top of the park, where the park is. Look at that vine. That right there, that ropey vine, that is a stem of a poison oak vine. That's a nice size stem. That's a big poison oak stem. But yeah, it should be about 0.6 miles. I remember a sign, I think the sign said 2.4 miles from the park to the waterfall. So just doing the waterfall would have been a 4.8 mile out and back, but I wasn't ready to just end it on that note. Just had to explore more of this place. Glad I did too. Very glad I did. This is a great place to hike and explore. And I haven't even seen half of this canyon yet either, to be honest with you. There's still a whole western portion way beyond what I've explored, both on the North Trail and on the South Trail. So yeah, it's just pretty awesome. I didn't even notice this laurel sumac on the way down. Boy, I said that would have been my first laurel sumac of the day. All right, so we have a little coast live oak right here, but we're predominantly going to be in scrub oak. Like I said, this lower portion, gotta watch out for western poison oak. And then once we get higher up, it doesn't seem to be super prevalent, at least on the sides of the trail. So here we go. Back through the scrub oak and lemonade berry forest. This jungle-like feeling, which is so satisfying. Again, it's so thick here, it does not even feel like chaparral. It does not feel like chaparral at all. It feels like I'm in a forest. That's why people call the chaparral elfin forest. Yeah. Very beautiful here. Very, very beautiful. Highly recommended. This is a hike that needs to be taken. Camino Ruíz Trailhead at the park. It's definitely a place that needs exploration and appreciation. Ooh, Eleotes. Oh! Starting to rear his or her butt up in the air. I'm trying to think, is that Eleotes? I think that's a Cutacauda. I think that's the species. I believe that's a Cutacauda. It's got a sharper rear end. A Cutacauda species tends to be sharper at the end. All right. I keep getting poked by scrub oak. Yeah, this trail here is open to mountain bikes. That's the only one I've seen over here. I saw one hiker this morning when I first went down this. But yeah, look at that. Scrub oaks. size of small trees. Love it. And a lot of that shiny leaf barberry growing here. All right, well, I'll catch you up the way. Working way up this beautifully forested trail. Yeah. It's a good way to end a hike. If you're going uphill to finish your hike, it's great to have it in the shade of a wooded north-facing slope. So, yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, this is incredibly beautiful here. Totally worth it. I love how the grass here is still so green and tall and rich. It stays green here longer because the plants dry out much more slowly. Gosh, these scrub oaks are so awesome. All right, well, keep you updated. Won't be that much longer. So I'm on the steepest part of this very short section. It has not been steep except for this little path that's lined with these bricks. It's pretty easy getting out of here. Just this part's a little steep, but it's very short. Yeah, summer holly again. Comerostaphyllus diversifolia, subspecies diversifolia. Yes, indeed. Yep. And again, a lot of bush rue. Some bush rue at the start of this hike too, which is pretty crazy. It's the only place I've seen the bush rue so far. I'm sure it's going to be in other parts of this canyon. I'd have expected that more on the sunnier south-facing slopes, to be honest. But hey, it's all good to me. Wherever I could find it, I'm happy to see it. Yeah, this has been an incredible hike. Very awesome day out here. I would say I probably did between 6 and 7 miles today, I'm assuming. We'll see. I'll have to try to calculate it. Ooh, look at that. A common crow, or American crow. So the park's just up here. Yep, that was a crow. Yeah, very beautiful hike here. Yep. This will be the last part of the day here. Then it's time to get in the car and start heading home. There we go, chamise. This looks like the coastal variant. Hadrosoma fasciculatum, variety obtusifolium. Didn't see a lot of this today because where I was hiking, it wasn't around, especially in the wooded and forested areas. But on the sunnier slopes of the canyon, you will find this a lot more. Started to bloom. Another one, another bunny, another cottontail. Pretty cool. All right. All right. Almost done with this hike. Yeah, the climb out of here was not that bad. A couple of, like one or two little steep spots, but it doesn't last very long. And you get a lot of rests too. You go up some, it flattens out. Go up some, it flattens out. It's very gradual. Very easy, actually. All right. Just about back at Camino Ruíz Neighborhood Park. Now my mapping, the mapping I do for this might be approximate, especially on the side trips where it's going to be hard to see the trails from Google Earth. So some of the map in the wooded areas might be approximate, but pretty sure this was over 6 miles of awesomeness today. Glad I did it too. Great day out here. Fantastic day out here. Definitely worth taking the extra side trips. Glad I did. Well, this is going to do it for me. Here's the park. Hope you enjoyed this adventure as much as I enjoyed presenting it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next adventure.